So there are 5 animation principles proposed by Lowe and Schnatz. But here, let's focus on the principle 1. People learn better from an animation when the instructional purpose of the animation has been clearly defined. In other words, if you're going to animate objects in your teaching material, you got to be able to justify why you're creating those animated behaviors. Suppose you created an animation to teach the mechanism of how a bicycle pump works. Can you explain why you animated certain parts the way you animated them? Remember, there's got to be a clearly defined purpose for every animated behavior you're creating. With that in mind, when you think about purposes of animations can have 2 basic functions, a representing function and a directing function. Animation can illustrate all kinds of movements and changes. Movement, such as change of position of objects. Growth, such as change of size or form. Other alterations, such as changes in color or texture. 3D shape of a static object by permitting a virtual walk-around of the object. Assembly structure of complex static objects by showing how the object is composed from its parts. Animations can also be used to guide the learner's visual attention to task-relevant features of the displayed information by adding dynamic highlighting techniques and zooming into the relevant feature. These are all basic animation techniques commonly used today, which will help you analyze your animation design objectively. So ask yourself these questions. Does each animated behavior you created have a clear function? And is it going to produce your intended learning outcome? For example, suppose you created this animation to teach a mathematical technique. What would be the function of this animated behavior? It is to guide the learner's attention along the particular path. And is it going to help your students learn the sequence effectively? Probably yes. So far, you have clearly defined the purpose of your animation and sort of justified the use of animation as well. But how can you make sure that your animations are designed right and effective? To answer that question, let's take a look at the other 4 animation principles.